The following is a Shaw TV sports presentation.
Good evening and welcome to the Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. Some Junior A lacrosse action betwixt the Edmonton Blues and the Saskatchewan SWAT coming up here live on Shaw. My name is John Fraser, handling the play-by-play duties tonight. I'm joined by color commentator Tanner Fetch. And Tanner, this SWAT team's coming off of a bye week. They're at home. What can we expect out of them tonight?
Well, yes, they are. They came off the bye week here, and they are looking to come out strong. They don't want to come out flat-footed here. The Blues have been playing the whole time, so the SWAT have had a little break, a little breather, and they're looking to slide into first place here with a couple W's this weekend if they can pull through. I know the boys are well rested, and the energy and the atmosphere within the arena, I can see it on the floor. The boys are excited, and they're ready to go.
We're looking forward to a good night, and to help us get all set up for tonight's matchup and talk about what a Minto Cup would mean for Saskatoon, Simon Hyatt caught up with SWAT defenseman Jason Price.
Regular season coming to an end, that means we're looking ahead to the postseason. And when you're talking box lacrosse in Canada, of course, that means the Minto Cup. Talk about this event. How big of a deal is this event in terms of Canadian sports?
I mean, in terms of lacrosse, this is like the all-out, like, greatest accomplishment you can get in Junior A lacrosse, in junior lacrosse in general. Especially coming from Saskatchewan, to be able to make it to the Minto Cup, to be able to play in the finals would just be an unbelievable experience. To do so, we'd have to beat the Alberta, or become the Alberta champions. Right. Then we'd have to go beat the BC champions, and then we'd have to go play the Ontario champions, which are both two other leagues that are very, very talented in lacrosse. Been playing at this level for a lot longer than we have. So to even be able to make it that far as to play the BC champs is like the ultimate goal for us right now, being second-year Junior A players.
Absolutely. It sounds like a huge event and probably a real testament to how big the sport has become in Canada. This has got to be a pretty big deal with teams coming from right across the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal not only for us as teammates, but like for the sport growing in Saskatchewan, along with still growing in Canada in general. Just to be able to perform the way we are and have the Rush here with us to kind of help us out with support and everything, it would be such a great deal just to be able to make it to the Minto for not only the team but for the whole province.
All right, well, let's check this team out. Let's head back to the action. It is the Saskatchewan SWAT and the Edmonton Blues.
Thanks, Simon. Up next, Junior A lacrosse. Edmonton Blues visiting the Saskatchewan SWAT, only on Shaw TV.
Ever watch TV and said to yourself, I could do that? Well, you can. As part of its community access programming, Shaw TV is looking for volunteer-run, community-produced short segments and shows. Create your own program, your ideas, your vision, on television. Bring us your proposal, sell us on it, and we'll train you and your crew, providing the professional equipment you need to make your ideas reality for free. Everyone is welcome. Get involved in making your own community program. See where it takes you.
Kinsmen Arena, just moments away from opening face-off here between the Saskatchewan SWAT and the Edmonton Blues. Saskatchewan, John Fraser, Tanner Fetch with you, by the way. Coming into tonight, as you mentioned, third overall in the RMLL's Junior A division, 6-7 on the season. Meanwhile, Edmonton 2-9. Tanner, you've played a lot. You played for the SWAT program. Is there ever a chance you could be, looking past this 2-win Edmonton team?
Well, definitely. I mean, Coming into this game here, this is a big game for both teams. The Blues are looking to upset the SWAT. And I know that the SWAT are looking to move into second place with 2 wins, or 3 wins this weekend. They'll move into second place past the Mounties. So this is a big game for both squads.
Now, in terms of some of our viewers new to the league, can you kind of explain how the postseason works, who's at home, things like that, Tanner, as a guy who's been a part of this league before?
Well, you know, home floor advantage, I guess, home court advantage is a big thing in the game of lacrosse, as it is in any sport, right? So if you can secure more wins and get the home playoff games, that gets your fans behind you, gets that support behind you, and ultimately you'll have the boys playing better. So if they can pull through into second place, they can guarantee that they'll have some home playoff games for the Saskatchewan fans.
One number that jumps out at me on a lot of these Edmonton stat lines, if you're looking, you've got guys with like 69 penalty minutes, 60, 42, 19. Can we expect this one to get a little chippy here if it's up to the Edmonton Blues?
Well, you know what? I think we can, especially if the score starts to break away and the SWAT end up putting a few in the net. If they start to climb away with this one, I bet you the Blues will be looking to get a little chippy, right?
Perhaps a little Western, if you will.
Yeah. The jungle.
A little loud in here as the teams get all set, fired up. We're just moments away here from the opening face-off. Our starting goaltenders tonight for the Saskatchewan SWAT down to our broadcast left. That's for UC Eric Dirksen. He has played in 13 games this year. That translates to 400 minutes, a .795 goals against average, and a .788 save percentage. Down to our broadcast right, that's John Holan. He's going to be betwixt the red posts for the Edmonton Blues, visiting from Alberta. 13.2 goals against average, a .698 save percentage. As we mentioned, we're just about set, ready to go here between the 6 and 7 SWAT and the 2 and 9 Edmonton Blues. Handling the face-off duties are going to be Brendan McCallion for the Edmonton Blues. He's going to be in tough against Ben Cathcart. Cathcart, they don't track face-off stats here in the RMLL, but if you watch one SWAT game, you know he wins upwards of 80% of his draws on any given night.
Oh, definitely, and that's such a key component to the game, is getting the possession off the face-off. It's a possession game, so you really need that ball off the draw, and having a guy like Ben Cathcart in the circle is such a big help for the SWAT here. So let's look and see if he can't pull off the first W here.
So anybody that's just joining us, maybe watching Junior A lacrosse for the first time on your television, first off, thank you for joining us. Secondly, it is 3 20-minute periods similar to hockey, and we are now underway. Opening draw 1 there, forward by McCallion for the Blues, immediately swarmed by the SWAT defense. Jared Steyer forces the loose ball. It's going to be scooped up by Eli Batt and Jason Price, returning from injury in this one. He was pumped up, ready to go as I was talking to him. Opening moments here of the opening period. Damian Daniels is going to take it up over on the far side. Daniels backs it back up for Mitch Linklater. Linklater, 28 goals so far this season. Daniels back to the far side for Baden Boyenko. Back near side. There's a low shot. That's going to go off the shin pads of Brent Mitchell. By shin pads, I mean the shin bones, because that's all you got here with lacrosse. 19-19 left to go. Long outlet pass up for Shields, and Edmonton on offense here for the first time. Agree. He's going to take it back up over half, dump it back to that far side. Once again, Edmonton setting up immediate pressure by the SWAT offense. Wildeboer, he's bounced back outside. The pass for Tokar, back up to Fuller. He's bounced back outside. Tokar's shot, that one's going to go off somebody's rear end, and they're going to award possession right back to Edmonton. It's going to be Brendan Duckworth down in the corner. Back up to Wildeboer near side. Back to the far side as some more help in the form of Mitchell comes on. Brent Mitchell, so far on the year, 2 goals. He's got 60 penalty minutes. One of those rough and tumble guys we kind of talked about. Wildeboer cuts into the middle. There's a shot. Dirksen didn't see it, but it missed, and there's already a little chippiness behind the play, Mr. Fetch.
Yeah, there's already some rough stuff, some jostling around. Guys are getting physical out there, but that's what I like to see, that energy right out of the gates. It should make for an exciting finish.
Quinn Ingles, a little spin move there, getting past Noah Jackson, drives in, shot. There's the first save there for John Holan. That going with a right leg protector. Back to the far side is Reed Murphy. Murphy gets it back near side. Driving in, spinning, twirling, and being bounced outside. Loose ball forced. And Edmonton takes over. 18:03 left to go in the opening period. And we've got the SWAT turning it right back into their own possession for a moment, but it's going to be Aiden Scharf, pardon me, picking that one up. I was thinking Adrian. I had a little Rocky moment there.
Rocky Mountain Lacrosse right there getting to you.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I like it. Fallard comes in, back to the far side. Fagree back to Brendan Duckworth. Duckworth forced back outside. Near side is Wildeboer. As there's a hard pick play, and the SWAT going to take over here. Tanner, so far the SWAT offense looking a little sloppy. Maybe they need to tighten some things up. What are you seeing, buddy?
Yeah, no, I'm seeing the exact same thing, and it's actually going both ways. Nobody's really got a shot on goal or really made the goalies work yet. So, you know, as an offensive player, that's exactly what you need to do. So let's see if they can't get their first shot. Seeing that one goes wide as well, high and wide.
That one a good stick there, and there's another shot there. Gould, he had a little bit of mustard on that one, if you will, but it misses the net and being bumped way up. There's a turnover, nearly coming up with it. Hunter Wagarak, and he's going to be bounced outside. The buzzer goes for the shot clock violation, but that obviously done in error. 16:56 left to go here. Opening period still scoreless as Dirkson's tested for the first time. Back up top is Baden Boyenko. He's going to carry it back to the far side. Boyenko in just 9 games, 23 goals so far this year. Just misses over the top there. Looks like he had John Holen beat, but couldn't find the net. Long outlet pass from Holen looking for Shields. Down in the corner, takes a little bit of a bump. A solid one there from Boyenko. He'll tangle up with Shields. Also joining in on the fun is Malkowski. And I believe
Too many men infraction there on the SWAT.
so we're going to have our first power play of the evening, and it's going to go to the Edmonton Blues, who so far through 4 minutes and 34 seconds of this opening frame have gone step for step with the SWAT, who are 4 wins better on the season. So the first power play tonight goes to Edmonton. What are you expecting to see here, Tanner? You're a goaltender. What don't you like seeing when you're on the power play?
The backdoor quick stick's definitely the killer. That's something you got to try and avoid, and it's hard when you have a box like that, is they can move it side to side and have you hugging one post and quickly get it across crease, and it's too late by then. They can put it in the back.
First shot so far going up and over the net there of Dirksen, not tested so far. Behind, he's just going to hold it into the crease, and this is where you really see that you get paid the big bucks here in the RMLL on the penalty kill. Shot clock doesn't run, but there's a chance. Mitch Linklater will just spin away and just kill off some more time. Always a smart move. 90 seconds left in the Edmonton power play. Back to the far side. That's where you'll find Zach Gould. Gould drives in, bounce back outside. Just killing time as the shot clock doesn't run here in Junior A lacrosse. Back up top is where Liam Dybel is. Dybel finds it to Jason Price. Price spins off some pressure. Marcus Fullard tries to get on him. He evades that. Wariak also in there. Price's pass this time is broken up. McCallie in there. Now far side is Liam Dybel. Dybel. He's going to get triple teamed. He's holding on to it. Dybel still has it. Finally, it took 3 of them, but it pops out. And Marcus Fullard is going to pick that one up. Only 41 seconds left in the power play for the Edmonton Blues. Still scoreless here with the first 5 minutes of the opening period gone. Moving it around. Looking back for Cole Fagree. Back over to the far side. Missed pass. That ball's going to hit the floor. Mitchell scoops it up. Immediately pressured there by Malkowski, the captain of the Saskatchewan SWAT. But Edmonton picks it up. First time Dirksen's been tested. And he comes up with a save right into the midsection. 11 seconds left to go here. Some great penalty killing by the SWAT so far. Dumping it down, there's a chance coming in, shot, and that's the first test there for John Holen. Colin Bergloff picking it up and just couldn't quite beat the goaltender.
Well, that was a good look there. He went in and tried to make the goalie dance and put it short side right as SWAT was regaining even strength there. They got their 5th man back on the floor. That was a good opportunity, good look.
Marcus Fullard back to Cole Fagree. Fagree to Fullard. Back to the far side. Makes a move. Drives in. Pass. Bat. Got a chance. Couldn't get the shot away as the SWAT defense responded. Shot clock running out. That pass there. That's going to be picked off and going for a run. Anthony Halborg. Halborg comes in. Shoots. Another save there by the Edmonton goaltender, John Holen. Holen so far up to the task. Looking good. There's a big collision there over the far side. And they're going to award possession to the Edmonton Blues. 13:42 left to go. Schaff picks it up. He's going to go back up the far side, and Edmonton set it back up. Tokar back to the near side. They're going to go work it down low. Trying to run in there, bounced outside again is going to be Noah Jackson. Jackson holds on, but he's up near the restraining line. Long pass across. This one also broken up. Now it's Eli Bat's turn to go for a run. He can't quite scoop up the loose ball. Gets his stick on it, holds it off. Bat now. He's going to wait for some help in the offensive form. Dybel missed the pass, but picks it up off the glass. Dybel up near the Edmonton Blues bench, spins off one defender. Liam Dybel again. Getting just worked over here by this Edmonton defense, but holding on through it all. Little spin move back up top. Here's a chance for the SWAT shot, and there's a save again. Zach Gould, 15 goals in the year, could make it 16. There's another shot. So far, John Holen's looking like a young Tanner Fetch out there. Some big saves, my friend.
That's exactly it. He's looking good out there, save after save after save. Just like me, man. Shutout. Every game.
So if we jinx them by saying shutout, is that what some Saskatoon fans are going to want?
Oh, yeah. That's what the home fans want to hear and want to see. They want the SWAT to break this goose egg.
And here's a chance again after the 2-minute man. Quick stick and a goal! Colin Bergloff's 19th of the season. Nice little quick stick, and with 12:26 left to go in the opening period, the SWAT open up a 1-0 lead on Edmonton.
Oh, that was great, and great patience by Jared Steer, who got the feed right here at the top of your screen. He has patience. He tries to get the goalie like he's going to shoot, feeds that quick stick across, and a quick shot. Goaltender was just a little bit slow there reacting, but it was an even better shot, right? Short side.
How hard are those ones to stop when you've got that kind of time in tight, Tanner?
Oh, they're definitely hard, especially when they put it by the hips. There's less mobility there than anywhere else, right?
And a turnover right in front. The SWAT captain taking a low shot, that being Malkoski. And that one turned aside there as John Holen rebounds quite nicely. And once again, Edmonton picks it up, but so far the chance is in the favor of the guys playing at home. 11:56 left to go, opening period. Tanner, if you're Edmonton, what are you trying to do here on this possession?
Well, you need to get the passing, work the ball around, and get Dirksen moving. He's such a big goaltender that he takes up a lot of room. You got to get him shuffling side to side and get him off his angles.
Dirksen's going to scoop that one up and leave it for his defenseman. I believe that's being Bat. And there's a pass there. That kind of gets Zach Gould in an awkward spot, but Damian Daniels picks it up. Daniels back to the far side. Daniels looking for the no-look pass. He's going to connect up top there with Liam Dybel, but that's turned over. Lost stick, breakaway, in alone! Great save! Dirksen as he turns aside. Brendan McCallion in alone all day, some of tomorrow to think about it, and just throws up the right arm.
That was a beautiful save there. Dirksen playing great. As he's getting tested time and time again, he's throwing the arms out, he's making the saves.
And there's a long shot and a goal! Right as we're talking about Dirksen's ability to stop it, we watch Quinn Ingles score his 13th of the season. What a sequence there for the SWAT. First off, Dirksen absolutely bails out his team, and then Quinn Ingles goes ahead and buries as we take a second look at that one. We were so caught up in Dirksen's save, Tanner, that I even think we missed this.
Yeah, what a shot. That was a snipe. Went bar in, post in there, far side. Oh.
Bardowski, you know it's a good shot when you can't even see it on your screen in the slow-mo replay, and it just goes clanging in.
That's that torpedo of a snipe there.
So Eli Bat now, he's going to take it after the face-off win there by Ben Cathcart. This one now a 2-0 lead for Saskatchewan. 10:48 left to go, 2-0 the lead. SWAT back to work on offense. Looking again, moving it around well, cutting to the middle, up to the far side. Daniels shoulder save there, Holen rebound, and that one's gonna bounce precariously in the crease, but be scooped up by the Blues goaltender and Dawson Nielsen. We gotta give Dawson a special shout out. He was kind enough to give us his teammates' proper pronunciations for this broadcast tonight. So if we're getting them wrong, blame Dawson.
Yes, he was. He was our thesaurus, our dictionary, if you will. We went there for pronunciations, and he gave us the breakdown, and even helped us with his own name.
Well, and the thing is, too, we almost made him late for warm-up, so we might have to apologize to his coach for his behalf. Mitch Linklater now bouncing off some pressure. Good little pick there by Boyenko. Sends it. Linklater diving shot turned aside with the plastic twig of the Edmonton goaltender, John Holen. Holen now will bounce it back outside, and with 9:53 left to go, Edmonton now fast break looking for a quick stick, but Eli Bat got back there, and that was some good D there by Bat to break up what looked like a surefire chance, Tanner.
Yeah, it definitely was a good defensive play there, and Dirksen was a little bit slow coming across there. I think that's the only way they're going to beat him is if they can get those quick sticks.
Coming in, another great chance there. Tied up late. Quinn Ingles looking for his second goal of the game. 9:32 left to go in our opening period. 2-0. The lead for the SWAT. Kelly goes back far side. Brent Mitchell. Mitchell dumps it up to Marcus Fallard. Fallard will just kind of pause, wait for the rest of his offensive teammates to come on. Led by Cole Fagree. Fagree. Fallard. Wildbower. That one just missing on the attempted pass there. Getting caught up. Loose ball now is going to be scooped up by Jason Price, and this kid's got wheels. Price is going to drive in, stop up, and smartly so, as the Edmonton defense had gotten back to challenge him, dumps it back up to Mitch Linklater. 8:52 left to go as the SWAT go to work on offense. That's Gould. Gould's going to make a move. Gould behind the back pass. Couldn't connect there with anybody. Far side is Murphy. Linklater into a battle with Schaap. Schaap runs into it, loses it to Boyenko. That's not the guy you want to lose it to, but he misses the net. What a great little spin move by Murphy. But the shot clock will expire. And Edmonton, even though another couple great chances here by the SWAT, they recover and take back over. Fallard, he's going to drive in. He's going one-on-one with Zach Deck. Fallard, Wildeboer, back up to Fagree. Fagree, back down near side. Cutting into the middle is Duckworth. Duckworth, back up top to his team on the far side. There's a low shot. That one again blocked, just touching the SWAT defender's stick. And everybody gets locked up and run over. And I believe they're going to say Zach Deck was a little too enthusiastic, and they're going to give possession to the Edmonton Blues.
He ended up getting a little physical there with Fagree and knocked him down. Loose ball and minor interference. Easy call for the refs there. But I like to see that, the intensity there, the action, the physicalness. I like that.
And there was a nifty little behind-the-back shot by Mr. Duckworth being turned aside with the left leg of Eric Dirksen. You can already hear... I'm sure you can hear it at home if you got it turned up. These teams are already locking horns. You can hear all sorts of collisions up here at our broadcast location at Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. Fallard back over to far side for Fagree. Shot save Dirksen. Loose ball's picked up and it's into the crease. And there's already, if you're looking to the right of your screen, you're seeing some hacking and slashing. And they're trying to calm things down here. The officials seem to be calling it pretty tight so far, knowing kind of some of the history of these two teams.
Yeah, definitely. They don't want anything to escalate out of control just yet. So they're calling every little thing here, every little whack-knack.
Tanner,
you name it.
You also ref as well on top of playing goal. And I should mention, playing goal for the Ireland national box lacrosse team.
Yep.
So you got some expertise. As a ref, is that kind of how you control things, just by slowing guys down, calling lots of off-ball fouls?
Yeah, definitely. You kind of judge it by the game, the teams, and the score, and sort of the scenario. Game management calls. And right now, yeah, those are game management calls. You don't want the game to get out of control just yet. So.
Holen with the save with his pantaloons, if you will, and taking back over are the Edmonton Blues. Fallard, he's going to come up over half. His team down 2-0 with 6:44 left to go in the opening period. Fallard back to Wildeboer. Wildeboer goes back down low to the near side. Back up top is Tokar. Tokar slips, but he's going to come in, get a real good shot away, and that one's just going to miss. Dirksen might have got maybe an elbow on it, and picking that up is going to be Jared Steyer. Steyer will roll it on the ground to Mitch Linklater. Linklater, he of 28 goals this season, takes over far side, trying to drive to the middle. Linklater's shot, you can hear that one go off the leg protectors there of the goaltender, Holen, and that one will bounce eventually to the aforementioned tender, and he'll slow things down here for Edmonton. Back up to just about half there as you watch Edmonton once again try to get set up. Chase Carlson, wearing a letter on his crest, is going to get it back to Dawson Nielsen. Nielsen slowing things down. Nielsen, one of the call-ups here for Edmonton. Duckworth shot that one off the pants of Dirksen. He'll drop to his knees, keep that one from squeezing between the legs, and we'll dish it back to the far side. Going for a run. Here's the SWAT player laying the shoulder in. Quinn Ingles. That's a tough looking play.
Yeah. Definitely laying into him there, trying to let him know that he's there. Not going to get away with an easy one on a guy like that.
Absolutely not. And there he is picking it up once again. Ingles going to go back to the far side. And there's a high shot. That one by Daniels just touched the one stick. It just made it miss. Shot clock expires. But it's off the Edmonton goaltender up and into the crowd. So the SWAT getting a second chance. Baden Boyenko. He's got it back to the far side. Like I said, he's done a lot since coming back from college. Quick stick and a good save there once again by Holland. Liam Dybel, after the great pass from Boyenko, turned aside. Boyenko, what a big boost he's been to this team, Tanner.
Oh, definitely. He's been a solid contributor for the SWAT for the past 4 years at least. Making a great career out of himself. He's a franchise player here. And a sniper, one of the hardest shots in the league, hands down.
Yeah, you don't even see it. There's lots of bodies moving around. I believe they're calling loose ball interference, yes, on Edmonton this time. So Preston Woodkey will pick it up and go for a run. Are the Saskatchewan SWAT 2-0 to lead so far, blanking the Blues. And picking it up is going to be Mitch Linklater. Linklater looking back to the far side. Driving that one in is going to be Murphy. Look at those spin moves, comes in and just touches the green paint. Murphy with a great individual effort there, trying to drive it in. Back to the far side, Chase Carlson, the Edmonton captain, takes it up into SWAT territory with 4:04 left to go. He'll just kind of relax. He's going to stay on for an offensive series here as Edmonton playing a little short-handed tonight. If you look down to our right here, not a full bench, and the SWAT again awarded possession. Quinn Ingles. Ingles, he's going to make a move on his man. That's Takar. Back up top, that's where it connects with Damian Daniels. Daniels now driving in. He's going to be bounced out by some good defense. Finds a man, and all alone for a moment was Liam Dybel. Tries the quick stick, but just misses. That missed shot, though, will roll all the way down to the goaltender, Dirksen. And with time running out, SWAT got to get something going. There's a chance. Boyenko! That's turned aside. A great shot by Boyenko on what almost was looking like a nothing play, Tanner.
Yeah, no, he tried to finish there, tried to get the goalie to come far side with him, but the goalie did a great job of being patient and making that backdoor save when Boyenko tried to go back the way he came.
Great save there by John Holland.
Great save, great attempt by Boyenko as well.
Faggri to Wildeboer. Wildeboer back up top for Fallard. Fallard, he's going to come in, make a move. Another save there by Dirksen. As you mentioned, Tanner, so far not making his move so far.
No, Dirksen there, standing big, standing tall, and keeping them out, really. The Blues haven't really tested him there. There's a little miscommunication on the offensive side with the Blues there, not connecting on the passes and the picks and rolls.
Baden Boyenko now with it. Back to the near side. Back once again. Murphy shot that big rebound. That's going to be scooped up on the far side. Coming in once again, Linklater through a screen. 3-0 SWAT. And they couldn't have drawn up this much more perfect start to the period there. Linklater buries it behind Holland. SWAT are up 3-0.
Well, there it is, the third goal for the SWAT. That's what they needed there. You know, I'm sure they were expecting to score a bunch of goals this period there. Now he picks up this rebound. Fresh reset, cuts around the top, and shoots around the traffic. And the goaltender had no chance there, as there was a bunch of bodies from his own team and the SWAT guys as well.
What a quick release on that, too.
Yeah.
It was quick and it was hard. And that one's going to be the goaltender, Holland. Face-off won by the SWAT as Ben Cathcart, after losing a couple to start very uncharacteristically, has rebounded quite nicely. Damian Daniels with it now for Saskatchewan. Back up top is Linklater. Linklater over to the far side. That's where he's going to connect there with Ingles. Ingles one-on-one with Nielsen. Back far side. Coming in, and again, Linklater looking for another goal, and he gets driven outside. Some good defensive work there as Brent Mitchell starting to look strong, and behind the play, we've got some more fun as McCallum comes in. Great arm save, Dirksen. Then it gets bumped into, and we're going to have an elbowing call here on the SWAT as we watch Eric Dirksen collect himself after coming up with a big right arm save.
Well, that's an elbow. Now he went with the 2-minute elbow, but I believe elbows are only allowed to be 5-minute majors coming forward here.
Interesting.
So he went with the 2-minute there. It could be a 2-minute rough either way, but he did elbow him in the head. Should be a 5.
So, unless something's changed since you've been in Ireland for the past few months, we were expecting a 5-minute penalty. Instead, it's just going to be 2 minutes. And with 1:47 left to go, Edmonton to their second power play. 0 for 1 so far in the first period, and there for the game. Fagree to Fallard. Fallard, Fagree. Back to the near side, moving it around. Tokar, the other forward. There's got a shot, and he had the little bit of space between the leg of Dirksen and the post, but here comes Price. Price all the way, couldn't finish. He's got hands like a defenseman, and I know he's going to watch that one a little bit later and hear that and probably give me a hard time, but Jason Price, great effort play, showed off his wheels, but no finish. As you can see, the coaching staff, and there's a shot and a goal. Marcus Fallard, as we're watching the coaching staff give some offensive shooting tips to Jason Price. Fallard drives in, and he's going to score his Edmonton Blues leading 20th of the season, 40th point. Take a second look here. Edmonton taking time just to get nice and set up, nothing too scrambly, and you see Fallard drive in, and that's a very well drawn up man advantage goal, isn't it, Tim?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And they had Dirksen there. Dirksen kind of bit and went down on one knee, and that allowed the goal to sneak by him short side there. Great shot, great finish there by Fallard. Price might have to go take a few notes from Fallard's book there.
So Fallard is one of just 2 double-digit goal scorers on this Edmonton Blues team, the other being Braden Duckworth, who's got 14, while Fallard now just scoring his 20th. SWAT, though, going back to work on offense. They've got a few more guys with double digits. One of those, that being Ingles, with a big shot there. That's going to be turned aside by the Edmonton goaltender, John Holen. Holen will wait. We're under a minute left to go here. 30 seconds in the opening period. As Edmonton will wait to see if they're going to, yes, they are going to leave Holen in. They're going to try it. It looks like they're going to try for the old 2-for-1 here, Mr. Tanner Fetch.
Yeah, well, that's just it. This has definitely been a defensive show this first period. The defensive guys have been really playing well, and the offensive guys haven't really been able to get motoring just yet, with only a 3-1, which is pretty rare in a lacrosse game after 20 minutes.
So now the time's just going to run out here as you're going to watch as Braylon Frenette will lose it, as he was a little too casual there, Tanner, but it's going to work out okay. So after 20 minutes, it is Saskatchewan 3, Edmonton Blues 1. You are watching Junior A Lacrosse only on Shaw TV.
Happy to be joined by
Saskatchewan SWAT member Anthony Halberg. Anthony, you've seen it firsthand. You're heavily involved in this sport. Talk about the rapid growth of box lacrosse in Saskatoon, in Saskatchewan. This is something that it really seems like it's taken off in recent years.
Yeah, the last couple of years since obviously the rush came into town, it's blown up hugely. Like, I know this off season I've done way more camps, like with the first time lacrosse players, so it's been good. It's been good to see lots of new lacrosse players out on the floor.
That's awesome. So you talked about the fact that you're heavily involved in these camps, in coaching. What was it that drew you to that side of things? Because obviously you're still a very young guy out there playing a lot. What made you want to maybe explore the other side of things, getting out there and teaching others how to play the game?
It's partially growing the game, partially love for the game, I guess. Yeah. Just being on the floor, having a stick in my hand, I enjoy it, every part of it. So if I can spread my knowledge to the younger kids, then I will, any chance I get. So yeah.
How young are we talking about? How young are you dealing with?
Right now I run a camp in Martinsville. Like one group's 9 and under, so they're pretty young, and then 9 and over. So you see a bit of a difference there for sure. The younger kids are obviously pretty fresh, but the older kids do pick it up a little bit better, so it's nice to see. Like even from day one, they've never touched a stick before, and now we're 8-9 weeks in, getting to the end of it sort of thing, and they're developing really well, and it's nice to see for sure.
And are there significant differences with the way the sport is played at those different age levels? I mean, we all know that box lacrosse is it's a rough and tumble game. Is it played at in a slightly different way when we're dealing with younger kids?
Yeah, it's a little more timid with the younger kids, just so we don't scare them off, sort of thing. But I don't know. It gets obviously rougher as you get older. You get a little bit into systems and stuff like that when you get older. And younger, like you're pretty much just working on skills, stick skills, like just basics of the game. Just grow the knowledge. So
one of the things obviously we're hoping to come out of these broadcasts on Shaw TV is maybe helping generate that interest even more. If there is a youngster out there watching saying, hey, I want to look like that guy out there, I want to be like Anthony, is there a good way for somebody to get information on getting involved in the sport?
Go to the Saskatoon Box Lacrosse website, and sign up. It's never too late. You can sign up late in the season, and I'm sure there's some information on camps, off-season camps and that, so get signed up for that, and I'm sure I'll be out there working with you, or one of the guys out here will be working with you, so yeah, get a stick in your hand, I guess. That's all I can say.
That's the key. That's how it works. Anthony, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the campaign this year.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ella. The warm-ups has been with me my whole life, ever since I was a baby. I've grown a lot since then, and they've made sure that I always have the devices I need to try new things. I can do anything. The warm-ups is there to help me be me. Ta-da!
Careful, careful. That champagne cost a fortune.
Mr. MacDonald, do you plan to bribe the entire delegation?
Our methods may differ, Mr. Brown, but our objective is the same.
My objective, sir, is honest talk.
And mine is to win.
Gentlemen, enough. We must convince the Maritimes or there will be no confederation.
Aye, George. Today, civil war grips America. How long before they look to our borders again?
Separated, the colonies are isolated and weak.
But united. Just imagine. To the east, the Atlantic provinces, then Upper and Lower Canada, across the prairies to the Rockies and beyond. A new country made one by a railway from sea to sea. Gentlemen, the time for union is now. I ask you to take the dare.
The Charlottetown Conference set Confederation in motion. On July 1st, 1867, Sir John A. Macdonald became Canada's first Prime Minister.
When he was only 16, Richard Pierpoint was enslaved in Senegal and taken to America.
All us men have sworn on this petition to fight.
You're an old man. The British Army has militias and trained soldiers.
I fought with the British during the American Revolution.
Take your land and farm it. Leave the Americans to us.
With respect, sir. I was born a free man, and I intend to die one. Your officers fight for land and money. I fight for my freedom.
Richard Pierpoint was one of thousands of black loyalists who won their freedom in the American Revolution. 30 years later, at the age of 68, he petitioned for an all-black unit that would defend Upper Canada during the War of 1812.
warm-ups has been with me my whole life, ever since I was a baby. I've grown a lot since then, and they've made sure that I always have the devices I need to try new things. I can do anything. The warm-ups is there to help me be me. Ta-da!
Careful, careful, that's...
And welcome back inside the Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena after one period. The Saskatchewan SWAT lead the Edmonton Blues by a score of 3-1. My name is John Fraser. Alongside me is Tanner Fetch, and pretty well what we could have drawn up for the Saskatchewan SWAT. Taking a look at our first period highlights here. Started off with a goaltender's duel, something I know a couple of goalies up here in the booth certainly enjoyed, Tanner.
Oh, exactly. That's what I love to see. Save after save, putting on a show, showstoppers.
A lot of good defensive play as well, as you just take a look there at John Holland making a few big stops there. And this time, love this stop by Dirksen. A man's in all alone. He's on no man's land. Comes up with a big right arm save. And then they started making the goals after making the saves. The SWAT go on a 3-goal run there, Tanner. What was the key to the turnaround on offense that you saw?
Well, they definitely just started shooting around the screens and making the best of that. They kind of got the bounces going their way, and they were getting the possession calls from the referees, so everything started going the SWAT's way there after the first 5 or 10 minutes were out of the way.
But as you see live on your television screens, a late goal there by Marcus Fillard on the power play cut this to 3-1, and the Saskatchewan SWAT 6-7 on the season, and against the 2-9 Edmonton Blues have a 3-1 lead here as we get ready to start play in the second period. Tanner, who really stood out for you for both teams in the opening 20 minutes?
Well, definitely Dirksen as a goaltender, as we mentioned before, stood out to me. Amazing job by him. Bergloff had a great goal as well, so he stood out. He was an offensive player. Reed Murphy and Jason Price using his speed, the PK, he really was doing well, and he had that breakaway opportunity, but he just slightly missed it, lost control of the ball there. But you know what, Price stood out, and you know what, we'll see how they go the second period here. Let's see if the SWAT keep their foot on the gas.
I thought Edmonton's Holland, the goaltender, was really particularly good
Definitely.
in that opening 20 minutes. This easily could be a SWAT runaway, not for him coming up with some big saves. So here we go. We are set and ready once again. McCallion and Cathcart. And we got to say, I've been watching Ben Cathcart for several years. You don't see him lose a lot, but right now, Brendan McCallion is having himself a day. Teams have switched ends. Edmonton, the Blues, in the aptly worn blue jerseys with the orange trim, moving from the left to right on your television screen. Meanwhile, Saskatchewan in their home blacks with the white trim, along with the Saski flag right affixed to the right arm. Edmonton, Folliard, that one picked off Eli Bat. Bat's gonna go for a run, but slow up and get the offense on the change. His team leading 3-1. They'd like to stretch it out a bit more. There's a quick good pass there, connecting with Liam Dybel. Dybel, he's going to back things up, slow things down. Boyenko's got space. Another good save there by Holland. Holland coming up large once again, this time with the left arm. He's going to air that one out, and it goes just a little bit wide. You could hear a SWAT player yelling right as Schaff was about to pick that one up. You think that might have thrown him off a bit there, Tanner?
Yeah, hearing footsteps, he kind of panicked a little bit and lost control of that pass. And that's tough because you definitely don't want to lose possession off that when you just got the ball back.
And they're in tight, shot to goal!
And there it leads to the goal.
Liam Dybel, a little bit of an oopsie-daisy near the middle of the floor. Leads to Dybel making a couple moves in tight and beating Holland over the left arm side. Nice little bit of, nice little dekes in tight there by Mr. Dybel.
Yeah, he goes tiptoeing in. He's just along the paint. And he comes and he kind of swoops around with his stick and goes short side. What a beautiful finish to that goal.
So going short side and getting back the momentum, I'd say. The SWAT now up 4-1 here. Early in the second period is right below us. The two teams go back to battle. Bounce pass there, and here comes the SWAT offense. Linklater, he goes back for Boyenko. Baden Boyenko's just going to hold on. He's going to go back down low. That's where he has Linklater showing the speed once again, looking for the quick stick from Liam Dybel. He just whiffed on that just a bit, but he picks it back up. Nice little crafty little pass as Colin Bergloff couldn't quite hang on. There's a low shot and a goal, and the SWAT back-to-back goals, back-to-back Liam Dybel-like goodness, all within the opening 2 minutes of the second period.
Well, what a great shot there. That was a low sub shot, and it went low to low. It didn't rise as it was coming out of his stick. It stayed low and was down by John Hogan's ankles there.
And just look at this, the velocity there.
So powerful, right?
You and I both know how hard that one is to stop. If you get it down low and you don't drop, and you shoot it that hard, it's probably going in at any level of lacrosse.
Well, that's exactly it.
As a stick goes flying after a little bit of a scrum, Eli Bat emerges from it. Reed Murphy shot, and he just missed. There was another great chance as the SWAT so far doing a really good job of taking advantage of the fact that in the second period, both teams' benches are in the offensive zone, so you can get players out in an awful hurry.
Yeah, you can definitely get that quick change, and you need a guy like Reed Murphy who's a righty to be the first guy out that gate so that he can go across and get that shot. Whereas if you have a lefty, you're going to only have a short side opportunity, so good look for Reed.
Faegre fully hard, and there was a backdoor pass, but Dirksen snipped it out and managed to slide across. Another great save by Eric Dirksen. Reed Murphy again.
That one finds it. Yep.
That one does find its way in. It took Murphy a couple of tries, but he does find it. You know, they say anybody can do it twice if you get a second chance. Reed Murphy buries past Holland, and the SWAT have put the foot down, pedal to the metal, to open up the second period with a trio of goals, all within the opening 3 minutes here.
There it is.
Just kind of leaks out the back, and his goaltenders, those are the ones that make you just look to the sky, and ooh, things starting to get a little chippy here.
On the floor, yeah.
Malkowski getting into it a little bit with McCallion, or pardon me, that's Dawson Nielsen. And I looked at the penalty minutes totals for this Edmonton team, and we could anticipate if Saskatchewan starts running away with it, things could start getting a little Western. And don't forget, if you're out here watching, you want to come down for a great night of entertainment, all day tomorrow we got lacrosse, including the next Junior A game tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. You can come down here, Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. There's beer gardens, cheap tickets, and the best concession you will find at any arena in Canada.
Agreed, yeah.
And I'm not making that, they don't pay me to say that. In
Those
fact,
ladies in the kitchen, like, they cook the best meals you've ever had, for sure, hands down. I come here just to eat food.
I know, I've done it many times as well. Driving back in, there's another chance, and Edmonton's defense tightens up a bit, but they still leave Boyenko open for a moment. His shot will go off the right elbow there of the goaltender Holland. Taylor Shields now will take it up past half for the Edmonton Blues with 16:37 left to go. Saskatchewan's turned a 3-1 lead into a 6-1 lead. Duckworth, he ducks right near the restraining line and has to pass that one off as he was on his way down. Fallard drives in, Fallard's shot, and he's gonna beat Eric Dirksen. So far, Marcus Fallard has been the most dangerous Edmonton Blue, showing off some great speed and skill there, Tanner.
Yeah, he's definitely the most lethal weapon there on the Blues team, and he's already has 40 points, got 2 more tonight. He's the leading guy on the Blues squad. So you got to stay tight on him. You can't let him walk in there like he does here and beats Dirksen, right? If you give him that time and you give him that space, he's going to make you pay.
Well, and that's exactly it. It was almost like he somehow managed to go completely unmarked here for the SWAT. Little defensive breakdown, and again, Nielsen and Malkowski getting into it. And neither player exactly happy with going to the bench, but I think a good job here by our officials to make sure that this one doesn't escalate, Tanner.
Yeah, no, that's been brewing here time and time again here off the faceoffs. They've been jostling around, and now finally the ref says, that's it. That's enough, boys. Sit down and think about what you did for a couple minutes.
And it's been the same 2 guys nearly every time, so we're going to go for 2 minutes of a little bit of 4-on-4. Tanner Fetch, who you would say the advantage is 4-on-4, or who has the advantage 4-on-4?
Well, you know what? The SWAT have so much speed that with so much space as well, you know, those speedy guys can move around and move the ball well. I think they'll have the advantage here, but I guess we'll see.
Edmonton's captain Carlson, he's going to go ahead and blow by, a little behind the back pass. He's going to connect with Duckworth. Duckworth at the 4-on-4 situation for the next 2 minutes. Back over far side. That pass intended for Fagree, bounces back off, and he's going to get it, and he's going to shoot. And that one's going to go underneath the neck protector there of Dirksen. He pops it out, and here comes the SWAT. Long pass as the offense will get onto the floor there. Nice pass by Bat to set that one up. And first one there is going to be Bergloff. Bergloff leads the offense on. He's going to go back up top for Gould. Gould driving in, he gets knocked down, pass to nobody, but connecting there is going to be Ingles. Ingles takes a shot, and it's going to be picked up there by Edmonton. Scrum ensues, ball still loose, and it's in the stick of the SWAT, and they're going to get a reset off of it. Boyanko's far side pass, he's going to come in, back right in tight, downstairs shot, turned aside. Holland comes up with another big save for the Edmonton Blues as Chef, and we got something brewing down to our left here as the whistle goes. As it looks like, you got a good look at it. I could hear the inner ref when you take over with a whoa. Tanner, what did you see as we were watching the ball?
Well, I could see the guys down there were exchanging a few rights and lefts there. Helmets and gloves on, so it looks like it's just going to be a roughing minor.
And this is
one-sided.
Looks like they're just taking Edmonton's Brent Mitchell.
Yeah.
Another tactic you'll see when trying to control the game is take one. So we're going to have a rare 4-on-3 here for the SWAT, and it's a 4-minute penalty to Mitchell there. So Saskatchewan gets their first power play, and it's of the double minor variety. Moving around the outside, Boyanko. He comes down low near side. Murphy, and that one just turned aside there. Getting that arm up out of nowhere was Holland. Great save by the Edmonton goaltender.
He was looking far side there, and I thought he was going to bury it. He had a little tiny bit of room, but John Holland says not today.
The old elbow pop out of nowhere as that one's going to go off a body, take a lively bounce off the boards here, and picking it up. Great play there by Murphy. Back across, Boyanko time, and his shot, and then Boyanko gets steamrolled. That's not an easy thing to do, but good on the Edmonton defender, that being Taylor Shields, to bring down the big man. No reset, and Edmonton will pick it up, led by their captain, Chase Carlson. And right now there's about 2-1. We're going to be at a 5-on-4 for the SWAT as the first two players with the roughing minors are out. SWAT now on the power play for another 2 minutes, 56 seconds with 14-12 left to go here in the second period. In tights Carlson, and he's just going to miss the net. Had Dirksen at his mercy, and oh no!
Oh, just a mishap there as that one bounces back into the crease, and the D-man puts it in past Dirksen. They're both bobbling around and trying to figure out how do we pick it up.
That was a bit of a broken play, an own goal. We're going to take a second look here as it just looks like a little bit of English on that ball. Oh, you can see the defender try to pick it up. It goes off his stick and just gets across the goal line. Follow the bouncing ball on that one. Oh, no.
Just barely squeaked in there. And that was crazy because it hit the post, then the glass, then back into the front of the net, off the D-man, and in.
These boards have some life to them here at Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. So Saskatchewan now 6-3. The lead cut after the own goal, to use the soccer term. Moving around the outside are the SWAT in tight. Boyanko, speaking of getting a lot of action, knocks the post back with a shot. Man, what a howitzer there. Coming in, back to the far side. Boyanko, another behind the back pass, looking for Murphy. Tight, and a goal, quick stick. The SWAT go out and restore the 4-goal lead. Nice little bit of passing on the power play. And out note 2, scoring that one with 2:16 left in the double minor. So they will remain on the man advantage. As that one was follow the ball. Look at that behind the back pass put by Boyanko there, Tanner. What a high level of skill. Great heads up play by Murphy as well. Just look at the chemistry between those three. That is exactly what you want to do. Wide open goal. Holland didn't have a chance.
Holland was challenging for Boyanko's shot from the top, right? And so he was so far out that by the time that pass goes down low, there's nothing he could do.
So the SWAT will remain on the power play thanks to the double minor. So they're 1 for 1 with the man advantage so far right now as Baden Boyenko. He'll pick it up. Back down to the near side, Reed Murphy. Murphy, far side. There's another pass. Murphy's turn to shoot, just missing on the short side. Looking for the right foot beside Holland. Back up top, there's a big shot, and that one off the twig of the Edmonton goaltender. And he's just going to dump this one up, but he's going to miss. Intercepted, Zach Deck. He's going to turn things around. Long bounce pass, and that's going to be scooped up there wisely by Holland, as Reed Murphy was just sitting there relaxing for a moment, ready to get it. Now Murphy's going to go to battle with the Edmonton player, and they're going to give possession to
the SWAT for the 10-second violation.
Can you explain that rule to some of our new viewers here, Tanner?
In case you don't know, when you're shorthanded, you have 10 seconds to get it across into the offensive zone, which is the far rag line. And then you can't go back over either once you cross the half. So.
And that's the only time, similar to the NLL, that's the only time that rule plays at Junior A. There's your explanation with Tanner Fetch, Irish lacrosse legend, and also one of our referees around the city. There's a shot to goal. Murphy gets lit up after the goal, and let's go, boys. The
Some
referees
haymakers.
jump in.
Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather out there. The tail of the tape.
Murphy got a solid cross check after he buried Reed Murphy. First, let's look at the goal here. Murphy cut in and just buries. What another great release, then gets hit. So now we're waiting to see. Take a second look at that again. Murphy finds some time and space. What another great pass there, and then gets lit up a little bit, and coming to his aid is his teammate, and down to the ground.
Good defensive play by the Blues. You got to make them pay the price if they're going to get that shot, especially a high shot like that that tickles the twine and reaches into the top shelf cookie jar.
Just where grandma keeps the cookies.
Exactly.
Bardowski, as they'd say.
Yeah.
So out of all of that, Edmonton is now on the power play, following the second power play goal for Saskatchewan. So Edmonton on the power play, 5-on-4 advantage. That's why there wasn't a face-off after that. 12:06 left to go, 8-3 the SWAT lead. Fagree, there's a quick stick turned aside by Eric Dirksen. Scooping that one up is going to be Jason Price. Price finds his man. That one just popping in and out of the stick there of Hallberg. He had a good shot there. You heard from him during our intermission. He was with Shaw TV's Simon Hyatt, the lovely and talented Mr. Hyatt, as you could call him, as Mitch Linklater now is going to try to kill some time. 1:14 left to go in the Edmonton power play. 1 for 2 coming into this one. Linklater's just going to go for a run, outrun his man, and retreat near his own bench. A little bit of a juke move. He's going to come in. Couldn't quite get the two hands on the stick required for the shot, but he's going to make another move. Linklater, he's going to lose his footing a little bit there and go into the boards. And there is where you're going to see the scrum form. Linklater so far holding on to it. One-man job. And I believe they're going to award it to Edmonton. Is getting a little aggressive was Ingles trying to get in and scoop up that loose ball.
Well, I thought things were going to get a little more rough down there as the scrum started to ensue. But looks like the SWAT was getting a little too rough on the PK, so Edmonton ball.
Edmonton takes over, 34 seconds left on the power play, about 18 left on the clock. Fagree, he gets the pass there. Fagree back to the near side, Fulliard. Fulliard's got both of Edmonton's goals that they've scored, plus one own goal, if you will, save Dirksen. And again, they're trying to get him moving, but he's done a really good job of following the ball, hasn't he, Tanner?
Oh, he definitely has. They can't really get him dancing around.
There's another, speaking of dancing, Gould dances in for another shot. Came into this one with 15. Eli Batt's going to scoop that one. That should bring the power play to an end. So the SWAT go back to 5-on-5 as Boyenko's going to go back down to the near side for Ingles. Ingles has his man, Boyenko, another good save there by Holland. And then drilled into the crease is the Edmonton player. I believe that's Tokar. And we're starting to get the two teams, the benches. Part of me, that's Cole Fagree. Because of some short numbers here for Edmonton, seeing some of their best offensive weapons playing both way, as Fagree took a hard cross-check into the back and ends up in the crease. As we take a second look, Tanner, you're an official. Let me know what you think of the call.
Oh, there it is there. Yeah, that could have been on the back for sure. Double minor CFB. Making an easy call, right?
So that one there.
Especially off ball. Nowhere near the ball, unprotected.
So you're saying that definitely Tanner would have definitely given a penalty. I could see your arm shoot up, and I knew instinctively you're ready to call one. But Fagri appears to be okay. He's a little shaken up. That is one of the. It's just it looked like the collision to the back of the spine hurts enough, and then he prepared to go head first into the goal. So we'll keep an eye if he's going to be okay.
A little bit of whiplash as he went down. Then he hammers into the post. It was off ball, and he's a defenseman getting hit in his own end by an offensive player. Easy calls the 4 minutes, but.
Well, we don't see it here, and you can tell why the Edmonton coaching staff, Bud Fagri, was a little upset with that, the head coach here for the Edmonton Blues. So 10:06 left to go. Team's back at 5-on-5. Edmonton awarded possession after the hard hit. Halfway through now the second period. Long pass there, and as we said, Fagri was playing both ways tonight, and a big part of that offensive set. Fallard appears to be a little lost without him there on that one. Couldn't find anybody. And then instead, though, a great turnover forced by Chase Carlson, the Edmonton captain. Carlson's bounce pass. Fallard couldn't come up with it. And it's going to be Jason Price alone in the corner, chasing down a loose ball. He's going to scoop it up for Saskatchewan, and he's going to go for a run. Price crosses over half as Kelly bumps into a couple of changing SWAT players, and Quinn Ingles has the ball now. SWAT now is set up on their offense. It's going to be Reed Murphy. He's going to back up top there for Zach Gould. Gould back to the far side for Bergloff, and there's a turnover as Edmonton trying to get back into this one. Not out of reach yet. 8-3 is the Saskatchewan lead with 9:08 left to go in the second period. Taking a little bit of time here to get this one set up. Wildeboer now will come in. There's still some chippiness in front of that goal. Things starting to, the intensity level, Tanner's been picking up here a little bit.
It definitely has, yeah.
Pardon me, that's not Wengrinyuk, that's Nielsen wearing his jerseys. Nielsen's been called up wearing 44, and again, bodies hitting the floor everywhere as the two number 7s get entangled, that being Fallard and Reed Murphy. Long pass there intended for Bat is going to take a non-friendly bounce for the home team, and Bat's going to have to go to work for it. Bat and Shields battling in the far side corner. Coming up to help him out as well, Dybel. And now the scrum ensues behind the Edmonton goal to the left of the goaltender. A lot of legs there, just trying to pop that ball loose. Boyenko's finally going to come up with it and immediately be stapled by a couple of Edmonton players. Shot clock's about to expire, and Edmonton's going to pick it up. Nice defensive work there by the Blues. Now going for a run over on the far side, McCallion. McCallion will just stop up, wait as the SWAT defense was aware what he was trying to do in transition. So with 8:02 left to go, dumping it behind the goal. Looking for the old off the back, but thinks better of it, getting back it up to Zach Wildeboer. Wildeboer sets up. Up top is a Nielsen shot. That one's going to be partially blocked, and you can see now Eric Dirksen ducking well below the crossbar and some of those lively balls off the back glass. If you didn't catch it earlier, we had a bit of an own goal where a ball went off the back glass, off the post, off a defenseman, off Dirksen, and into the back of the SWAT net.
Yeah, now he's a little more prepared for those potential chances there.
The real strange-looking ones. Back to the far side now, Liam Dybel. Edmonton's defense seems to like this intensity picking up, Tanner. They've really picked up their game in creating loose balls past few minutes here.
They definitely have, yeah. Getting physical, right? And despite getting physical, the SWAT players are still holding their composure and holding it together. Like, Boyenko got his bell rung a couple times, but he's still not giving in to any of the games. And playing good mental lacrosse, right?
Well, that's what you want to do, right? You don't want to start getting involved in all of that. Otherwise, you start giving the other team power plays, and that 8-3 lead can disappear. Back alone in front. Fallard, he takes a shot, and another good one there is Edmonton's best offensive player. Continues to show off his skills there. He's got, like I said, 2 of the 3 goals tonight. The 1 goal being scored in the own goal variety as Jason Price now sets up the Saskatchewan SWAT offense. Back down low, back up top is where you're going to find Gould. He goes over far side, Bergloff. Back to the near side. There's a shot there. Quinn Ingles, his big rebound. He's going to pick it up himself. Lose it as the ball's got a little bit of English on it. Back to the far side. That's again the SWAT trying to set up offensively. Gould, he's going to get it back in tight, and another great chance and a goal. Liam Dybel drives towards the net in a foul mood, tucks it under the goaltender's arm. And it is now 9-3. Remember, the SWAT came into this period with a 3-1 lead, and they've just taken over again. Defensive breakdown here leads to Liam Dival putting one in.
Yeah, perfect. He just cut. It was the cutter play. He originally got the pass, drew the defender out, and then he gets the feed off the cut. He goes in short side, and he nips his 3rd goal of the night. So that's a hat trick for the kid. I don't see any hats raining onto the floor yet, but...
Well, you and I both have our hairstyle because we're on TV, and you have great hair, by the way.
Thank you.
I got to throw it out there. So with 6:13 left to go, 9-3 now the SWAT lead. Edmonton taking a timeout to compose themselves. Tanner, I'd like you to channel your inner coach. What would you say to your team if you were the Edmonton Blues?
Well, you know what? They're playing great defensively, minus a couple breakdowns, couple errors. They're getting really physical, and they are forcing the SWAT to turn over the ball and get into the loose ball scrums, and Edmonton's still coming out with it at times. So they just need to get the offensive going here. That's the only thing here. The defense is playing great. The goalie's making the saves, but the offense just needs to start generating. And you know what? They need to get the cuts, the picks and rolls, and the passes, right? It's simple lacrosse, but that's the way they're going to climb back into this one if they can.
How would you like to see them play a little differently on offense? I know you're a goalie, but goalies, they always say, get to watch a lot of stuff. What would you do? If you are Tanner Fetch, you're playing out, you're playing for the Edmonton Blues, wearing one of those very sharp-looking blue jerseys.
Well, here's what I would do personally is I would try and run picks, bunch picks, where I can try and pick 2 or 3 guys at once by spreading out wide and bunch them up, cluster them up, and either get guys cutting onto the inside or even shooting over that traffic if possible, right? Make it hard for Dirksen, make Dirksen work.
Yeah, because most of his saves he's had a pretty good look at so far tonight. Jason Price immediately off the faceoff. He's going to drive this one in and decide to bounce it back out and get it to the offensive guys. Right now, Malkowski with it, down in Edmonton territory. SWAT now setting it up once again. Back to the near side. Driving in is Linklater. Over to the far side. There's another big shot there by Bergloff, and that's going to go off the back. The goaltender holding, trying to force it. Driving in was Murphy. He gets stood up and brought down, and they're going to award it to Edmonton. I believe Murphy got his toes in the crease. Need to wear maybe a little bit smaller shoe size.
The clown shoes are just a bit too big for the paint there.
5:35 left to go in our second period. Duckworth over to the far side. Duckworth slowing things down here. Edmonton down by 6. They were only down by 2 entering the second period. Hasn't been a good one for them. Fagri is back onto the floor. That's a good sign. He was shaken up a little bit earlier. Another save there from Dirksen. I'm seeing what you're saying there, Tanner. Not a lot of traffic in front of the SWAT goaltender.
Yeah, no, they're making it easy for Dirksen to follow the ball and track the ball.
But another good created turnover there is Michael Tokar. Tokar now, he takes a shot. We're going to have a penalty coming up here as Fillard took a pretty vicious whack behind the play.
Yeah, I saw that happen there, and for a split second, pulled right around the neck, and that's going to be the 2-minute for the hold. Easy call. For a split second there, I thought the refs didn't see it, and it was going to go uncalled, but then Calvin Rosberry, who was the official down here as the lead official, threw his arm up and he did catch it. So
it looked like he was almost working on, you know, the old RKO out of nowhere. He kind of had his arm around his head, looked like he was going to see some sort of WWF style move. Yeah, that's right. Bring him down.
Yeah.
So back to the power play for the 4th time tonight go the Edmonton Blues. So far, 1 for 3 on the evening, but this is what you got to think. They got to get one here and start pouring it on. Fagri, Fillard, big shot there, turned aside by Dirksen. Even with the man advantage, he could see that one as there wasn't a lot of traffic. Here comes Jason Price. Price going to be given the unenviable task of holding on to this ball. Instead, he's going to dish it off to Baden Boyenko. Boyenko back to the near side. That's where he's going to connect there with Ingles. Ingles. He's going to go up against the boards. The double team now forming here for the SWAT against Edmonton, but Ingles holds on to it, surviving the double contact. That's so hard to do. Ingles is going to get another chance right around the head with the stick. We got a penalty coming up. That one's pretty cut and dry. And now we're going to get a little thrown off the mitts there. Hunter Wackerup.
Ding, 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 ding. That's the belt.
But I think that instead our officials are going to jump in, and even though he emphatically threw the gloves off, he won't get a chance to dance with anybody. And So he's going to get a 10-minute misconduct for dropping the gloves without going with anybody. And as you could see there, that is cut and dry. Had the arms, had the stick all around the head.
Yeah.
And the SWAT player is badly shaken up there, down to our left there.
That is a pretty bad one, though. He ended up going over top of his head and pulling in tight around his neck.
So we're just waiting to see. Yeah, the SWAT player pretty shaken up there. Believe that is Linklater, I believe. As Wackeruk, you see him sitting in the sin bin.
So here it is one last time here.
Yeah, you get
right around the neck.
Oof. In a twisting motion.
And his leg too. From that angle there, you could see it. His leg twisted up as well.
Yeah, that's Quinn Ingles, pardon me. So Ingles is being helped off right now. It looks like some sort of lower body injury. He's walking very gingerly. The SWAT trainer, Neil, has a torn Achilles himself. So we've got a couple SWAT alumni here that are helping him out. Assistant coach Jay Price, all around good human and great guy. He's down there trying to help out Neil.
That's ironic, though, isn't it? That Neil, the trainer, is going to help someone with a hurt leg, as he has a hurt leg himself.
He knows a few things about leg injury. So Ingles right now shaken up, still on his feet behind the SWAT bench. So we'll keep an eye down to our left and keep you posted if he's coming back. So the SWAT now, 4-on-4. Linklater goes back to the far side. That's where he connects there with Gould. His low shot's going to bounce out of harm's way. That one off of a kneecap of an Edmonton player. Linklater with the quick stick, and a great save there by the goaltender Holland. Shaken up there on the play, as still being worked on behind the SWAT bench is the injured SWAT player. Boyenko back to the far side. There's another shot there by Liam Dybel. Dybel turned aside by the goaltender Holland. So 3:31 left to go. We'll be at 4-on-4 for another 26 seconds. And then the SWAT are going to have a power play after what was just a nasty looking play all around. Painful looking play, if you will. On the penalty, they're in tight. There's a good shot there. Another good save there by Dirksen. McCallion with the shot. Hasn't seen a lot of action in this period, but he's been up to the task when called upon. Back to the far side is Zach Gould. Gould makes a move, drives in, makes a move again, shoots and scores. Zach Gould with the goal. Showing some great patience there. I don't know where the Edmonton defense was at even strength, but you'll take a second look here. Long pass from his own territory as Gould makes a couple moves.
One defender on him there tried to kind of can open him and pop the ball loose, but unfortunately Gould was too much for him.
He's just a big man. You could see the Reed Murphy, that little bit of fake by Murphy. He was driving
the defender, and
so the other defender had no chance to get over, as we see Casey Guerin and Jay Price looking on intensely, with their team now leading by a 10-3 score, and they're going to be on the power play for 47 seconds.
Such a turnaround from the first period of 3-1, now to a 10-3.
And we'll break it down after the second period's done, see what exactly happened. There's another shot, rings the post. You can hear that one live on your television screens as it rings off the post all the way down to Dirksen. And Boyenko is going to jog this one back into Edmonton territory. Kind of fakes the shot, pass intended far side for Liam Dybel. Ends up bouncing around and back to Boyenko. Boyenko back for Dybel. Boyenko now, his shot again off the post. And that's back-to-back posts for the Saskatchewan SWAT.
Well, that's the goaltender's best friend there, and he's going to thank those posts after this period for a couple lucky saves.
Gonna say Holland's been under assault this entire period. 10-3. The SWAT have outscored Edmonton 7-2 here in the second period. Now again, driving it in are the SWAT. Lots of time, another goal. Reed Murphy does a little tiptoe dancing, stays out of the crease, finds the open net behind Holland. It's now 11-3. As we got Papa Murphy over here, we got to take a second look at that. We're taking a second look here as Murphy. Look at that little bit of tipsy toes in there.
That's athleticism at its finest right there. as he had the whole wide open cage. And we joked earlier about how he had clown shoes and his shoes were a little bit too big, but this time he made sure they were outside of the paint. Photo finish, picture perfect.
That was just, I would probably be down in significant pain if that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
So it's now 11-3 after the highlight reel goal there by Reed Murphy. Springs up in the air, stays up there like he's Super Mario or something. And the SWAT continue pouring it on. Back to the near side, Boyenko. Back to the far side again. There was a shot, I believe, that might have gone off a player there.
Bergloff sends that one out of play there.
Yeah, they're going to say that one went straight out of play, and we're below 90 seconds left here in what has been a great second period for the Saskatchewan SWAT. Not so good for the Edmonton Blues. Faggri back to the near side. He connects there with Folliard. Fillard, he's going to drive in, find a pass, and what a goal! And again, more rough stuff. Duckworth getting into it with his man. What a great skill play there by the Edmonton Blues, set up that goal. Dirksen didn't stand a chance here.
Oh no, that pass went far side and had Dirksen spread out.
And just wide open over on that far side there was the Edmonton player. Let's take a second look there. Fillard drawing most of the attention from the Saskatchewan defense. Just a quick little snap at a wrist, flick at a wrist.
I'm not sure how that guy was alone, all on the far side, all by himself, right? Looked like Daniels was his defender and tried to track him down after, but it was already too late by then. And what a beautiful save that would have been if Dirksen had caught that one in his twig, but unfortunately they put it over, tickled the twine with that one. And then the rough stuff ensued there.
Yeah, I think we might see that after every goal here, Tanner. Could be a lively third period. So McCallum now with it as they're going to give that goal to Takar. He was the man who went in and buried. Mitchell now back over the far side. So Edmonton trying to get a couple late ones, pull this one within 6 here in the heading into the third period. Carlson now, Edmonton's captain. He stops up. Watches for some place to go. No pick setting up. Now a little bit of panic in front, but Duckworth has that stripped there by Eli Batt. That pass ends up caught up in the equipment. So it's going to be picked up here by Saskatchewan with 32 seconds left to go in the second period. SWAT's captain runs it all the way down, and back up top as the SWAT offense will get one last crack at it here in the second frame. Boyenko back over to the far side. Saskatchewan, you can tell, trying to get something set up here there at 11-4 lead, and instead bouncing it back. Here comes a big shot, stepping up, and Dybel had all day in Summit Immortal wind up on that one. You saw the nice little leg kick. Now it's going to be Zach Gould. Gould's shot, that one's off a body. It's going to be picked up by the goaltender Holland, and he will hold on. So what a period by the SWAT. Rough stuff again continuing. Both teams, we can't even repeat what I can hear at floor level here, as it hasn't been good, but we can tell you what a second period here by Saskatchewan, Tanner Fetch. They outscore Edmonton 8-3.
Well, that's just it. They came out flying. They came out of the gates strong in this period. Well, and that's exactly what Casey Guerin was talking to us about, and that's what he wanted the boys to do, was come out flying. They came out a little bit slow in the first period, but now things are starting to go, and you can see that the Blues bench is a little frustrated. The players, the coaches, everybody involved, a little frustrated right now as the score starts to climb up, and that's going to lead to more physical stuff, like we've been saying. We said it all game that's going to start happening, and now as this gap increases, it's going to be more and more of that.
And we will be back shortly with the start of the third period. First, Simon Hyatt talks to SWAT assistant coach Jay Price about not playing favorites and the need for more great coaches like Mr. Price for this booming sport.
Happy to be joined by
SWAT assistant coach Jay Price. Now, if you know that last name, you recognize that last name, you may have seen in another one of our broadcasts, Jason Price, your son. I wanted to start there, Jay, pardon me. What's it like coaching your son, having him out there on the floor? Do you ever have to get really tough with him and say, hey, get out there, Price? What are you doing out there?
You know what? Honestly, he's just another player. Yeah. He is one of the assistant captains and you know, a leader on the team. So I don't expect to talk to any of our leaders too much. Between him and Bailey Malkowski, they are leaders on the defense, and we expect them to quarterback a lot of the things on the floor. But certainly, yeah, there's some friction, you know, when he's not doing his job or doing what I expect him to do. He gets talked to just like everybody else. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta stay on him, no matter what the last name is. Let's talk a little bit about your own personal involvement in the sport, Jay. You've watched the sport progress over the last decade or so, which has really been when there's been explosive growth in this sport. Can you just compare a little bit about what lacrosse was like in the city 10 years ago versus what it is now?
Yeah, the general public didn't hear that much about it. You know, might have seen the signs, hey, come sign your kid up. It's good for hockey players. And but yeah, certainly with the Rush moving to town, it's been a huge influx, and which is fantastic. I think you know, we've seen double and triple the numbers in our tyke and novice and pee-wee programs. It's been some struggles to get equipment for all those players sometimes and find coaches, but they found me, so there's probably a few more out there who can who are filling those gaps now, and yeah, no, it's fantastic to see the city embracing it and getting the young kids in. That's what it's all about.
Well, maybe I should ask then, what would you say to somebody who's considering coaching, who's helping out? Because as you say, the city needs that, leagues need that. They need people who can help guide these youngsters who are learning the sport.
If you've coached football, like that's basically where I kind of learned some coaching skills. Football coaches, basketball coaches make terrific lacrosse coaches. It's a lot of transferable skills, and yeah, you don't need to know all the rules to start out, and really, you know, it's a lot like watching the Rush. I think it's so fast, it's so exciting, and when you watch even the young kids play and start to learn how to catch and pass and move the ball, and it just speeds up so much. It's a lot of fun to be involved with.
One more weekend of regular season action to go after this. What's it like being a coach at this point in the season? Because obviously there's probably a little bit of fatigue at this point with the weather getting warmer, having played the long season, but you've also got the postseason right around the horizon. What's it like at this point with the team?
Well, for coaching, I don't think this is the burnout season. I think this is the excitement season, right? That we definitely look forward to playoffs. We've still got some work to do, get better, and iron out some kinks. And certainly, you know, at this point in the season, we're managing a lot of injuries. You know, some of them minor, some of them a little more so. But there's juggling of the rosters, trying to make sure, you know, we do get players ready to come back and be in the playoffs, be in a playoff hunt, and so, you know, trying not to get any more injuries than we're already dealing with. But no, you know, we're all looking forward to the playoffs. That's where the real adrenaline comes in, and it's definitely tiring when the season's over. But yeah, don't think about that at all. I'm looking forward to playoffs.
Awesome. Well, Coach Price, we certainly want to thank you for giving us a few minutes during what is a very busy time, and we'll let you get back to the action.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm Ella. The warm-ups has been with me my whole life, ever since I was a baby. I've grown a lot since then, and they've made sure that I always have the devices I need to try new things. I can do anything. The warm-ups is there to help me beat me. Ta-da!
It keeps you awake at night, and it causes stress. Debt. No one else sees it, but it's always there, weighing you down.
Get debt off your back. The Credit Counseling Society is a non-profit service that's helped thousands of Canadians solve their debt problems. It's confidential, it's free, and it works. Call the Credit Counseling Society. All you've got to lose is your debt.
Careful, careful. That champagne cost a fortune.
Mr. McDonald, do you plan to bribe the entire delegation?
Our methods may differ, Mr. Brown, but our objective is the same.
My objective, sir, is honest talk.
And mine is to win.
Gentlemen, enough. We must convince the Maritimes or there will be no confederation.
Aye, George. Today, civil war grips America. How long before they look to our borders again?
Separated, the colonies are isolated and weak.
But united. Just imagine. To the east, the Atlantic provinces, then Upper and Lower Canada, across the prairies to the Rockies and beyond. A new country made one by a railway from sea to sea. Gentlemen, the time for union is now. I ask you to take the dare.
The Charlottetown Conference set Confederation in motion. On July 1st, 1867, Sir John A. Macdonald became Canada's first Prime Minister.
When he was only 16, Richard Pierpoint was enslaved in Senegal and taken to America.
All us men have sworn on this petition to fight.
You're an old man. The British Army has militias and trained soldiers.
I fought with the British during the American Revolution.
Take your land and farm it. Leave the Americans to us.
With respect, sir. I was born a free man, and I intend to die one. Your officers fight for land and money. I fight for my freedom.
Richard Pierpoint was one of thousands of black loyalists who won their freedom in the American Revolution. 30 years later, at the age of 68, he petitioned for an all-black unit that would defend Upper Canada during the War of 1812.
For Sir George Etienne Cartier, the work of uniting Canada was as vast as the country itself. First, he won over Quebec.
Union is the only way forward.
No, Monsieur Cartier. Confederation will cost French Canadians their nationality.
Monsieur, together we will form a political nationality independent of our origins.
Diversity will be Canada's strength.
Then he fought for Manitoba.
The Northwest has formed a government under Louis Riel. We will not join Confederation unless our rights are respected.
So you want a new province? Then you'll have it. There will be a place for your people in Canada.
He envisioned a country from Atlantic to Pacific.
British Columbia won't even think of joining Canada without a wagon road through the Rockies.
Ask for a railway. We are building a country, after all.
Bold as a lion, Confederation could not have happened but for him. Du Canada, son pays, ses amours.
I am Canadian, a free Canadian.
Free to speak without fear.
Free to worship in my own way.
Free to stand for what I think right.
Free to oppose what I believe wrong.
Free to choose those that will govern my country.
This heritage of freedom.
I pledge to uphold.
Learn more about citizenship at citizenship.gc.ca/discover.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Join the movement. You have the power to give life. Donate blood today.
Ever watch TV and said to yourself, I could do that? Well, you can. As part of its community access programming, Shaw TV is looking for volunteer-run, community-produced short segments and shows. Create your own program, your ideas, your vision, on television. Bring us your proposal, sell us on it, and we'll train you and your crew, providing the professional equipment you need to make your ideas reality for free. Everyone is welcome. Get involved in making your own community program. See where it takes you.
Welcome back to Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena. We're after two. It's 11-4 for the Saskatchewan SWAT. And as you're going to see, we got goals, and we got some more goals, and we got some more goals, we got some more goals. What a second period for the SWAT as we're taking a second look at all the goals here. Broken up by a couple great plays by Marcus Fillard of the Edmonton Blues. John Fraser, Tanner Fetch with you. And there's the goal that might haunt Eric Dirkson's dreams for a little bit there. The own goal that trickles in on the back of the Saskatchewan goal. But we got to look here. Tanner, what a dominant period by the Saskatchewan SWAT. What did you really think was the key?
Well, you know what? They didn't get into penalty trouble themselves. They stayed out of the box, and they took advantage of the power plays. 2 for 2, 100% on the power play unit. They were passing, they were shooting, and just a lot of things were happening well. Everything they practiced and were working on came to fruition here, and it worked.
As you got a second look, though, as the only downside of that period is Quinn Ingles got all twisted up with an Edmonton player and ends up leaving the game. I haven't seen him on the bench, but an 11-4 game that's getting rougher and rougher, I can't imagine you will see him on the bench. So, into the final 20 minutes, and there's Boyenko, great save there by the goaltender Holland. And the SWAT now, we're looking to add yet another goal. But it was such a dominant second period, Tanner Fetch, that, man, you got to think, can the SWAT keep it rolling, or what's Edmonton got to do? What's got to be the game plan here when you're down 7?
Well, now I think it's almost desperation mode here, where you just got to start firing some shots at Dirksen, and hopefully you can find a few holes, you know. There's nothing else that you can do. You just got to shoot like that.
And like you said, expect to see some shots kind of coming from everywhere. There's a save with the right foot of the SWAT goaltender, Eric Dirksen, who's been very much on his game this evening.
Yeah, well, and the key thing is, too, like, the glass is only, what? It's really short glass behind the net that if you make Dirksen make a save, it's probably going to go up and out of play, and you're going to get the ball back and have another opportunity at scoring.
What's the biggest comeback or blown lead you've been a part of, Tanner Fetch, in your playing career?
Oh, that's hard to say, but you know what? There's definitely been some 7 or 8 goal deficits where I wasn't playing my best for one period, and then we dug deep and we climbed our way back into it. So it's not impossible.
And we're going to see if Edmonton can do it. So far, the first step is to start scoring goals and hold on control. Marcus Fillard, Wildeboer back up to the top. Back to the down low near side to our broadcast left. Should mention Edmonton, the Blues appropriately wearing the blue shouldered white jerseys with the orange trim. Meanwhile, the SWAT in their home blacks with the white trim and the green helmets. Losing that ball there as Edmonton, you can really see starting to bring the pressure here as Jordan Tornado was up against it. He doesn't turn over the ball, and the SWAT now go back to work here. A little bit of 4-on-4 as both players are going to come out of the box, and it's going to be Gould with it. Gould tie shot, another save there by Holland, the goaltender for Edmonton. And going for a run now is Tokar. Tokar, he's got some space, and a good save there by Eric Dirksen. Then he gets lit up and driven into the end boards there by Reed Murphy out on the back check. And that one, it might sting a little bit into the boards like that.
Oh yeah, Tokar, you know what? He's also one of the leading points guys here on the team for the Blues, and he was looking to add to that, but Dirksen stood tall and stood big.
And there's another goal for the SWAT. Liam Dybel yet again picks it up, beats the goaltender, and you can tell the SWAT alumni that's in the beer garden location behind there going nuts, pounding the glass as you take a look at this. More just great pass. The passing's been absolutely bang on for the SWAT again this evening. Finding there, just again, how are they leaving Dybel wide open like that?
Tic-tac-toe, and he gets that 4th goal. Yeah, that's a guy that you don't want to leave open. He's going to be my Gatorade 3 stars of the game. I'll put him at the 1st star, because if he keeps scoring goals, what a threat. So you know what, the Blues got to stay tight on him and make him pay. If he's going to get that shot, make him pay the price after, you know.
Well, he's had just some time to stand and kind of relax with 17:09 left to go. 12-4 now is the SWAT lead as they go back to work. Looking back far side for Baden Boyenko. And instead it's going to be picked up there by Malkowski. Back to the near side. Gould shot, and it goes into the big old B on the top of the Edmonton Blues jerseys. And with 16:50 left to go, should mention too, mentioned a couple times during the broadcast, we always do, make sure you come down, Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena, more Junior A action tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We said best concession in town. Come on down, it's cheap entertainment for the whole family. Best food in town, and if you want a night out with the boys or the girls, you can always go down and have a couple of beers at the beer gardens. By the way, concession and beer gardens, all proceeds going to Saskatoon Box Lacrosse, which is growing at a crazy rate as Dirksen nails his man as we're making sure to get you out here for a game at some point this summer. Tanner, you're always a part of the game. You're actually going to be repping tomorrow night, aren't you?
Yeah, I sure am. I'm going to be throwing on the stripes and maybe throwing a few guys in the box. I guess we'll see.
Now, Tanner, from taking a look at this game so far, What are you expecting to see tomorrow night when you're reffing? Are you expecting to see a little bit of carryover, a little bit of the rough stuff continuing?
100%. I am. I'm thinking that is going to carry over. The Blues coach did mention that he has a short bench. He's only got 12 guys coming out now tomorrow night because he has a few guys that were injured in tonight's game. So that's going to play a role in there. They got here late as well. They said it's exam season, right? So. Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll see. This rough stuff's probably going to carry over, and I'll be ready for it as an official.
You will be. Now, a new rule this year is all officials have to wear helmets. You're quite famous in your officiating for, having a lot of hair product in, showing it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you embraced the helmet?
I have come to embrace it. I would still prefer. I like doing my hair up and just going out there, no helmet. I never really was hitting the head, so why did it matter, right? But now we got to wear them. And it was funny because Marcus Fisher there, the RIC here in Saskatoon, referee-in-chief, the one day there was myself and Dave Westwood from Edmonton. We were both reffing. And he goes, I don't want to see you and Westwood out there. There'll be gel all over the floor, he goes. Because him and I both kind of style the hair up the same way.
Pulling, long pass, Fallard coming back is Linklater. Linklater out of nowhere. Great defensive play. And that was a great pass there from the goaltender, Holland. And we're waiting to see here, and we're going to take a second look at that great chance here. Linklater closes quickly. Textbook play there to get stick on stick. And is that a too many men call there?
That is, yeah, too many men. He left the bench early, so that's why he could make that textbook stick check. And unfortunately, he can't leave the bench, right? So there's going to be a 2-minute minor coming to the SWAT.
And Edmonton to their 5th power play of the night, down by 8 goals. Fallard, Fagree, moving it around. Again, this very deliberate power play set up by Edmonton. Then they get the motion kicking in, and that's where you see it now. Trying to find an open man, but the SWAT right now forcing everything outside. Driving it back in there. There's a shot again, save Dirksen, and that one takes a funny hop, and there's a low slash. I believe the hack, it didn't look intentional at all, but that's going to draw a crowd. That's Malkowski. He takes that one pretty hard off the lower body. We get a second look at it here, Tanner, and there's the kind of unusual play.
Ooh. In the crease as well, so it was obviously an excessive slash, so it's 2 minutes for the slashing, but even if you had love tapped him within the crease, that's a penalty on its own.
So that one, really, I thought at first look, I thought he was just going for the ball. We could tell it was a pretty vicious hack into the shoulders there. So power play over for Edmonton. Back to 4-on-4 Lacrosse with 14:20 left to go. SWAT taking the ball there. SWAT now moving around. That's going to be Gould. And again, we have another hit from behind, and there's 2. Linklater. Carlson stapled him once in the numbers, stapled him again as he was going down. And now Carlson off to this bin of sin. So he's got 2 cross-checking penalties. He's going back to back.
Same goal.
All within about the same. You're right. Yep. As we take a look here, there's the shot. It actually goes off of Linklater, and there's the second cross-checking penalty. On the replay, you can see Linklater was already down because he'd already been hit in the back. That's the second one you get a look at there from Chase Carlson. So Carlson's going to end up sitting for 4 minutes. So now the SWAT are going to have a 4-on-3 power play. And now the box is getting quite full here, down to our right with blue jerseys. So 14:12 left to go.
So we got a full penalty box down here for the Blues there, because one player serving the 10, and then now these 2 other guys joining him. Pals getting along.
Absolutely. Everybody's just kind of hanging out for a few moments. So
the Bud Light chill zone in there.
Quick shot there by Zach Gould. Gould, his shot will miss, and Damian Daniels retrieves near half. Full 30 here for the SWAT with the 4-on-3. Daniels back down low, shot to goal, Linklater, and he takes another couple of shoves there as soon as he scores. So it's going to be 13-4. That goal. All right, Tanner, you're the ref. You figure out the timing math as we take a second look here at the Linklater goal.
There
using that time and space. Daniels fighting him at the top of the crease. Lots of time to go downstairs on the goaltender hole. And so now, Tanner, you're smarter than me, despite the fact that I actually do math for a living. What's the situation? Are we back to 4-on-4 for a bit here? How does that work with the man coming out of the box?
Yeah, it's going to be back to 4-on-4 action here.
So we got 4-on-4.
The Blues are going to get one extra guy returned to the floor. The one penalty that made them shorthanded, so it would be the first penalty.
So at some point,
Mitchell's penalty, which was the slash in the crease, right?
Right. So, and then we're also going to see the 2 4-minute minors serve. So once the SWAT player's out of the box in 55 seconds, they're going to go ahead and end up having themselves a power play again for the evening.
And the SWAT actually made a goaltender change there. So we got Evan Bolak of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan going in net here to 10 goal. When you got a 13-4 lead, you might as well get the other goaltender some reps. And that's exactly what they're doing here.
And Bolak is a call up from the Junior B SWAT program, and he'll make his first stop there. Getting some TV time thanks to the coaching staff here of the Saskatchewan SWAT. And looks as though we might have some confusion on the penalties. As you mentioned, Mr. Fisher, the referee-in-chief, has left his spot in the stands to come down here and correct things, as Tanner Fetch is going to listen in and figure it out. So we've got a little confusion here. We got some confusion here, and to make sure everything's right, Fisher has, again, left his spot in the stands.
And looks like they're trying to get Brent Mitchell back into the box.
Just a little confusion here on the 4-on-3, which, again, we can't blame. You and I were at equal levels of confusion on that as well.
Well, you know what? I actually thought Brent Mitchell's would get out, because it is the penalty that makes you shorthanded.
So we're just.
But I guess at that point then, Colin Bergloff would have been in there. So Mitchell and Bergloff's penalties are supposed to be the same. So it would be one of the penalties off of the cross checks. So the 2 cross checks there, it would be one of those cross checks disappears, and it's still going to be 4-on-3.
So the beauty is with that now, now that we have it on tape, on record, that's Tanner Fetch getting it right. So you can go ahead and show that to Mr. Fisher if you need to.
There it is. Yeah. The review panel.
So we're getting things just crossed up here.
Yeah, so that's all that was there. Is Bergloff and Mitchell's penalties, although happened at different times, now they're almost matched up. So it's the additional cross checks that came afterward that make them shorthanded. So.
Right, so 2 minutes of the 4-minute minor should be gone.
Yes.
They're just getting this sorted out. We got 13-15 left here.
And still 4-on-3. That's just, it's a tough one, and it's hard for the coaches there. They understand it, but it's obviously a tough one for your team because you want to get a man back on the floor, but just that's how the rule book is, right? That's how it works.
So we have a little bit of confusion here, and we'll get things sorted out. So Tanner, while we're getting things sorted out, I got to ask, I've called you the Irish lacrosse legend a couple of times, and people can very obviously tell you're not Irish. You went to school in Ireland last year, and you're actually going to be doing something, you're going back there in a couple of weeks to do something really cool. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be heading to Turku, Finland for 2 weeks to play in the European Box Lacrosse Championships with Team Ireland. So I'm pretty excited about that. The team's looking good. I go there early, so I'm leaving on the 2nd. And I'll get there for training camp, which is on the 4th. And we'll have 4 or 5 days of training camp until the tournament kicks off.
So for a guy that's played lacrosse here as a goaltender in Canada, who's officiated it here in Canada, you've played a lot in Canada. Naturally, it is our national sport. It's a sport that people grow up with. What's the difference in level between here and Ireland? Is it pretty good at that national level? Like, what kind of competition are you looking at?
It is good, yeah. And the thing is that a lot of these teams are filled with like Canadians and Americans who played the game growing up here, back home, and they all moved there just like I did for school, for work, or whatever it may be. So they end up linking up in the international or the European sort of lacrosse union that's over there. So, I mean, there is some talented players, and then there's guys that are locals that are sort of learning the game, and other guys that picked it up right away and are talented right off the hop, too. So the difference is they play by the FIL rules, which is the same as the NLL rules.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there's a few differences, like loose balls. You can there's no loose ball, minor interferences, things like that, unless you push on the back. But it's usually a big battle, and the crease is a little bit different, where you can poke at it or push it in if it's on the floor, and crease dive with your feet within the crease. So a few different rules there. and spices it up. It makes it interesting.
So Canadians will have a rooting interest in Team Ireland at the European Box Lacrosse Championships with my boy, color commentator Tanner Fitch, and there's a goal again. More love from the fans here as we're talking about Tanner's growing career in Europe. Zach Gould's putting it one behind the goaltender Holland right here in Saskatoon. And just take a second look at this one again. Just more great passing here. Another power play goal for the Saskatchewan SWAT on the 5-on-3. And now we got another guy coming out of the box, so there should still be another power play goal here for the SWAT. Will make them 3 for 3. As Holland, once again, it's just a tough night when your team, like you said, playing so short. Playing lacrosse alone is hard enough when you have a full team. How hard is it to do while you're shorthanded a few bodies, Tanner?
Oh, it's definitely tricky. You don't want to be short-handed. You don't want guys getting injured, especially when you have a short bench already. So it's going to make it a lot harder here.
So Linklater, he's had a good night. 14-4 is the score as Linklater gets it back to the near side for Liam Dybel. Moving around, inside shot and a goal, pick in the corner. Baden Boyenko make it 15-4 as this just continues to escalate here in Saskatoon. As it continues, you take a second look, more great passing there. Liam Dybel with a great pass. Baden Boyenko showing off that shot. That's why coming into tonight, Boyenko had 23 goals, 24 assists in just 9 games as he's playing his U.S. He's got a scholarship down south to play field lacrosse in the NCAA. There's a big hit over on the far side. He saw Ben Cathcart go flying. Has a conversation with one of our officials, and back to work go the SWAT. 15-4 is the current score. Back to the near side is Dybel. Dybel's had himself a night. He's looking to shoot. Dybel with a couple of moves. He's bounced back outside, looking again for Boyenko. He can't connect there. Boyenko, long shot. That's off the arm there of the goaltender. And Edmonton, and another goal!
Murph the Smurf puts one home there.
Reed Murphy looked like Edmonton was going to get out of it thanks to a shot clock violation. Instead, the SWAT get the reset, and more fun for the fans here at Kinsmen Arena. Another quick stick there by Murphy. Just the quick release.
And you can see the beer gardens erupt behind them as the fans go wild.
And it's quickly becoming, this is quickly escalating for the Saskatchewan SWAT. So it's a good night if you're from Saskatoon. Not such a good night.
The referees are having a little bit of trouble here sorting everything out still.
And I've just been informed one of the best parts about the evening is my lemon pie is waiting for me for after the game.
Oh. Hey, the 50-50s haven't been drawn yet, have they?
No, they haven't. Don't worry, we both got to look. We both got to look at that. Are you really running to get 50-50s?
I think I might.
No,
yeah.
you can't leave me alone. I need somebody to talk to in here. Live TV as
I want to win some 50-50 money.
Edmonton Blues take it. Fullard, he's running up against Jason Price and Malkowski. Back over to the far side. Mitchell's going to try to get there, and Tanner is actually leaving to get 50-50s. All right. So I will take things from here as Tanner has left the booth to get 50-50s. And the SWAT are going to take things back over at half. Shot clock violation instead. It's going to be the SWAT captain, Malkowski. He's going to be bounced back outside. And now working it over to the far side is Saskatchewan. 16-4 the lead. They are up big. Got to remember, at one point, this was a 3-1 lead. Boyenko's shot and a great little bit of defense there as Brent Mitchell just getting a stick there to disrupt that Boyenko shot. Otherwise, he would have had yet another goal. Running it around over to the far side. That's where Edmonton will take over. Slowing things down here a little bit as the chippiness has definitely cooled down a bit here in the third period. Bouncing it back around. Fagree. Wildeboer back to the near side. That one's going to drive into the middle. Duckworth shot, and he's going to score, beating Evan Bolak the new goaltender for the SWAT below the arm. Just a wicked shot, and Tanner's back after not getting 50-50s.
Yeah, I just went and sent one of the healthy scratch players, Jones, to go grab the 50-50s for me.
So we take a second look here at the goal.
I want some of that pie, and I can't do it if I don't have any money.
That's fair. Brendan Duckworth is going to take a low shot, and that is going to be Bolak beneath the arm. So now the face-off. So finally, we get a face-off here and some Edmonton possession. Is finally Edmonton getting on the board here as Saskatchewan has continued to control this game. They outscored them 8-3 in the second and hadn't allowed a goal in the third period until just moments ago, making it 16-5. Moving it around now outside, Duckworth into the middle, couldn't quite connect there. That one's going to bounce around and will go off the end boards once again. Jason Price is bumped a couple of times, maintains his composure, but naturally says a few bad words off in that direction. Eli Bat picks it up. Bat scoops it up. Back over to the far side. He connects there with Damian Daniels. Daniels now is going to go for a run. Daniels, he's got a little bit of time and space. Up top for Linklater. Linklater, he's going to bounce around. Linklater back to the near side. Connecting there with Bergloff. And the pass was just missed here as Edmonton takes it over again. 8:44 left to go. So now, Tanner, you're just kind of looking for both teams to try to get out of here, carry things over to the other two games that they'll face each other on the weekend.
Oh yeah, they got 2 more games, so now is a good time to not get into any rough stuff, not cause any fights, any scraps, any injuries, right? Because you want to have some guys that actually can play here on Saturday and Sunday. So
Fagree gets it down to his man and walking across. Nice leaping quick stick. Zach Wildemore.
There's another penalty coming here.
And we got a penalty coming for slashing to the SWAT player. And
Anthony Hallberg there.
Hallberg's going to go for 2 or less. He doesn't necessarily agree with the call, but at this point in the game, just trying to keep everything composed so we don't see any kind of a line brawl here in the dying moments. 8 minutes left to go. Tanner, if you're the Edmonton Blues, what should be the game plan for tomorrow night that maybe didn't work tonight?
Well, they definitely got to find some holes on Dirksen there. They got to pass. They got to start cutting. Like we noticed before in some of the earlier periods there, they weren't shooting around the screens or shooting over top the screens. And when they did, that's where they found success. So if they can do some more of that, especially when they're finding success doing that, that's what you need to keep doing.
Now for the SWAT, do you change anything at all for the next 2 nights?
Definitely not.
I guess 16-5, you're up 11. You're really not looking at making too many changes to the game plan. There's a bouncing shot up and out of play. So the SWAT will take over.
Well, that bye week definitely helped the SWAT out a lot. They had a lot of time to work on some new things here, especially as they're closing in on the tail end of the season and trying to sneak into second place and or first place if possible. These games are starting to be more and more important moving forward into the postseason.
Well, especially I think with the SWAT getting healthy was a big thing. I remember last game we did live on Shaw TV, we ended up with half my roster I brought to the rink wasn't even good because they brought up so many affiliated players because of injury. Now it's nice that they've got the depth here in Saskatchewan to fill in, but on the same note, you know, it made for a bit of a broadcasting nightmare. Tonight, they're all healthy, which is fantastic. For one of the first times this season. That's what you want to be doing near the end of the year. 6:36 left to go. More bodies flying around here.
Well, that's just it. If you don't have your healthy starters, your healthy D and offensive starters, right? Those guys are such key components and so integral to the team's success that if you're losing bodies like that, you know, not only does it make it a broadcasting nightmare, but it also makes it a nightmare from the coaching standpoint and from the team's perspective as well. Makes it a lot harder to win the games. You have to work a little bit harder. So
Tokar there, a good save by the young man from Prince Albert, that being Evan Bolak. Bolak coming up with a couple big saves here, getting a chance to play some Junior A on this Friday night on TV. Under 6 minutes to go here. There's another shot looking for the back door. or over the shoulder there of Bolak, the Prince Albert native, and he's instead going to go for a run. Are the SWAT defenders. They're going to get things changed up here. Here comes the offense led by Reed Murphy this time. Murphy's going to jog it in. He's going to go back up top for Dybel. Dybel back down low. Moving it around. Into the middle. Dybel, and that time that goes off the toe of the goaltender, hole in. And that's going to be bounced out to the SWAT. Once again, just looking to maximize the time while still trying to get their scoring chances in. Looks like whatever they've been doing tonight seems to be working, whether it's picks, whether it's movements, whatever they're pulling off is all right tonight. They're in another great pass. What a behind-the-back shot by Murphy. And he
now
gets instantly into it with Noah Jackson.
And here we go.
I don't think Jackson liked the showboating, and he's got him by the face trying to throw right. We got one official in there. Murphy's willing to go after having his helmet torn off. And for the second time tonight, we have another Edmonton player enthusiastically throwing his gloves to the ground and not finding a challenger.
Oh, and the beer gardens are eating it up now down there. They're giving it to who is that? Noah Jackson on the Blues there. They're making sure it's known. And he wanted to go. Murphy, at first it didn't look like he wanted to go, but when push came to shove, he wasn't scared. He doesn't back down.
Well, as we're going to take a second look at it here, you're going to see that Murphy absolutely, so a little bit of cross-checking. He just grabs him by the helmet
face mask
and tries to rip it off his head.
As the ref's holding his arms behind his back and pinning him there, he's getting his face mask grabbed.
You can't do that as an official. You can't be getting in there and holding a guy's arms back and giving the other guy free shots.
That's exactly it, right? You need to wait for your teammate. The other official, Brendan Boyle, who was up top, you need to wait for him. We can, it's like cops. We got to work in teams, work together, and clear the room together. And in that situation there, Calvin is holding Reed's arms behind his back as Jackson starts feeding him lefts, rights, and face masking him.
So here we go.
Sideshow.
So 16-5 is the score. The clock now on running time here, probably for the best interest of all those involved in this one. So we're going to be 3:30 away from getting there. So we're waiting to see here just what they've broken down for penalties.
Here comes the RIC, Marcus Fisher again. He's got a couple more words now to sort out a few more penalties.
So sorting some more things out here tonight, but as we have it, looks like it's an extra 2 minutes to the Edmonton player. So probably just 2 minutes for the roughing as Boyanko is going to get it back to the far side. Boyanko again, 3 minutes left to go. He gets it to Gould. Gould comes in, shot. Looks like he had a little bit of time and space, but just missed. Pass in the middle, broken up, but instantly there was the SWAT player. Not getting a reset. The shot clock went, the buzzer went, but it was still good, and the SWAT will add their 17th goal of the night.
Yeah.
17-5, and this one has gotten away from Edmonton in a spectacular way tonight, Mr. Fetch.
Yeah, just a little slow on the reset there. They did get the initial shot, and then Baden Boyanko picked up the rebound. So here's the initial shot you'll see there. That should be reset. Instead, the horn goes, and that was Daniels actually who picks up the rebound.
And slam dunks it. Yeah, a little slow on the reset. As you can see, that was pretty clearly a reset as that went off the chest of the Edmonton goaltender.
No complaints there from the Blues, though. Obviously, everybody knew it was a reset after the first shot. So,
well, and after you've given up 17 goals, I don't think you complain after number 17.
No, it's just too many now.
Back to the far side, and now the SWAT will just once again let things relax here for a few moments. Should mention again, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, these same two teams will go at it. And Tanner, you can vouch as a player and an official. It's always the second game, as that one nearly squeaks through. The second game always seems to be a little closer, a little bit more edge to it, as the two teams have figured out they don't like each other. And speaking of not liking each other, there's Damian Daniels getting mugged from behind.
You know, that looked like a high stick to me, but who am I to say? We're just the broadcasters today.
Absolutely, because the beauty is maybe we need one of these refs up here, giving you a hard time tomorrow night.
Yeah, exactly. Reverse roles.
Moving around the outside is Edmonton, just trying to save face, score a few more goals here. 17-5 with 96 seconds left to go. Run time here as the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League does go to run time in the final few minutes. There's another nice save there by Evan Bolak, who's come into this game, and he's a junior B goalie, but he definitely looks like he's got the skill to play at this level, doesn't he, Tim?
Yeah, he definitely looks like he fits right in here at the junior A level, which is great to see. coming up through the ranks and getting to see some action, the face from shots like this, you know what, he could be here in a year or two playing full time.
So Baden Boyenko's going to take it up and into Edmonton territory. He's going to drive, instead looks backdoor, not Linklater, Dybel coming up there, another great shot. He's just been sitting in that home, left unmarked time and time again. Down to the final minute here of play, long pass for Boyenko. Nearly goes up and into the crowd, back to the near side. Back over far side, that pass for Linklater is missed, and that one's going to go into the crowd here behind the net. And 41 seconds left to go. And I don't know, there's a little bit of confusion here.
I think they just want them to slow down and end this game.
Yeah, they don't want to see anybody getting hurt here, so they're just going to run out the final 30 seconds or so. Fallard will just keep it over on that far side, keep the players rested and all that kind of good stuff for tomorrow. Again, it's a 3-game. How tough are those 3-game weekends, Tanner?
Oh, they are tough, especially when you have to play. Now it's not as bad when they go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but when I was first playing, we had to play 2 games on Saturday and then play Sunday, which was a tough one.
Well, often, and you see it more at the junior B level, you'll see the players play a game in Edmonton and then a game in Red Deer all on the same day. So make the final, SWAT 17, the Edmonton Blues 5. And what was the turning point to you, Tanner? It just seemed like the SWAT woke up in that second period and didn't look back.
Well, you know what? It was Liam Dybel who decided he was going to turn on the gas and pot 3 or 4 goals there. And it wasn't just him, it was Reed Murphy and all the offensive guys really generating and started rolling. And Dirksen again stood tall. 3-1, it was anybody's game after the first, but I tell you what, after the second and third period, you could see who dominated this game.
We're going to take one last look at the third period and have our final thoughts live here on Shaw TV. That's coming up next.
Ever watch TV and said to yourself, I could do that? Well, you can. As part of its community access programming, Shaw TV is looking for volunteer-run, community-produced short segments and shows. Create your own program, your ideas, your vision, on television. Bring us your proposal, sell us on it, and we'll train you and your crew, providing the professional equipment you need to make your ideas reality for free. Everyone is welcome. Get involved in making your own community program. See where it takes you.
And here is a final look at that third period, starting with the little bit of a scrap that ended it, but it was all SWAT all the time again in the third. The second period is where they turned it on, and it just continued. Goal after goal after goal. Tanner Fetch, could the SWAT do anything wrong here in the third? Because it just looks like everything clicked for them.
No, it seemed like they were bleeding and breathing and the success. That's what that middle name was, success. SWAT success. You know, there's no other way around it. They were generating, they were passing, everything was going.
Now there we take a couple looks at the opportunities by the Edmonton Blues. Tanner, if you had to pick a player of the game, who would it be?
Liam Dybel for sure would be player of the game number 1. Marcus Foulard for the Blues, he had 2 or 3 goals there himself, so that was great. And then Eric Dirksen would definitely be the third star of the game because he stood on his head. So.
And we'll be back with one final thought to wrap things up from Gordie Howe Kinsmen Arena in Saskatoon.
Ever watch TV and said to yourself, I could do that? Well, you can. As part of its community access programming, Shaw TV is looking for volunteer-run, community-produced short segments and shows. Create your own program, your ideas, your vision, on television. Bring us your proposal, sell us on it, and we'll train you and your crew, providing the professional equipment you need to make your ideas reality for free. Everyone is welcome. Get involved in making your own community program. See where it takes you.
You know, Harrison and I really enjoy cooking in the kitchen. And we want you to join us.
Thank you.
Thanks to your support of the Warriamps Key Tag Service, anything is possible for child amputees. All of our artificial limbs, all of the resources, the seminars, the emotional support, having a positive attitude, all of that is from the Warriamps. Thanks to your support, the Warriamps are changing child amputees' lives every day.
Thank you.
And make the final SWAT 17, Edmonton Blues 5, Saskatchewan 7-7 on the year. Edmonton now 2-10. Tanner Fetch, John Fraser with you one final time. Tanner, is there anything you can take for the SWAT? You said that maybe they need to improve on it all in this game.
You know what? Not for the SWAT. I think they just need to keep rolling with this. Let's see if they can't carry forward into the next two games, but then beyond that, let's look at the postseason going forward.
On behalf of Tanner Fetch, myself, a volunteer crew, who is always absolute bang-up job volunteer crew, and Shaw TV, thank you so much for watching, and good night.